So we got to talk about Jemele Hill, right? Who's another certified race hustler. So President Trump had an event recently, and he was celebrating Black History Month. And of course, Jemele Hill and others, on CNN, find some reason to criticize it. And I always find it funny, right? Because one thing the left always accuses like Republicans of is that they don't have enough diversity, right? They don't have enough, people of color, women, or whatever in their group. So, if because of that, they call them racist. So, but if Republicans do tend to find someone, let's say they're acknowledging a Black person or a woman, that person's a token. So let me get this straight. If they're racist when they don't have representation, but when they do have somebody that they're representing and acknowledging, that person's a token. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, and this is the tool that they use, right? The left always use this tool. It's always about racism, sexism. It's always about some type of ism, right? This is this is what they use in order to combat the people on the right. So like I said, Trump had this event celebrating Black History Month, and we're gonna listen to Jemele Hill and others on this panel share their thoughts. So I'll let them talk, and then I'll share my thoughts afterwards.
He also mentioned at the same time that there were going to be statues of Kobe Bryant and Muhammad Ali. So it just seems a little hypocritical that you would be doing everything in your power to sort of outlaw the teachings of what, say, a Muhammad Ali stood for. Like, are you going to tell people that he stood against war, that he stood against these very progressive civil rights issues? That doesn't seem to be the part of it. And what I noticed there from that clip is that he had to read letter by letter about what these people, what these great Americans have done in terms of progress for our country, because it's not something he's familiar with and not something that is natural for him. So
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You want him, like, who remembers all the accomplishments of any person off the top of their head? I'm a fan of Tiger Woods. You think I can name off all his accomplishments? I'm a fan of Muhammad Ali. You think I can name off all his accomplishments? Of course I'm going to have to read something, because like who could off the top of their head name all their accomplishments? I don't think she could even do that. Right? So of course she has to pull something out, right? She said, oh my God, he's reading from a card, because obviously it's something that doesn't come natural to him. Like who knows these things? No one knows all these things of accomplishment of any person like that, unless they're just sickle fan. But just to pick that part and say, you know what, that's why he's reading from a key card. It's not something that's authentic. Is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. No one just remembers all the accomplishments. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. You think I can name all the accomplishments? Of course I know 6 championships, but my gosh, you're reading from a card to make sure that you get all your points across, right? Because you want to recognize that person. You want to be respectful of that person. You want to make sure you don't forget anything. But of course, like I said, they got to pick something, right? Like, think about this. This is Donald Trump celebrating Black History Month, right? Okay. And of course they have to pick something else, because this destroys their whole narrative that, Donald Trump is a racist or he doesn't like Black people. So they got to pick something. They got to pick the most smallest part to make sure that they continue that narrative that Donald Trump doesn't like Black people. So let's let her continue.
Well, I consider this to be an insult, a slap in the face. And frankly, all the people that attended this, look, I guess God bless you if you've never been to the White House and maybe you looked at it as some kind of great experience. But everything this president has stood for and done in the last decade or so has been a complete rejection of what Black history is.
Abel, how do you square what Jemele is saying there, that this White House, this administration has spent so much time, especially in the last month, denigrating diversity as even a concept? And actually, let me just go ahead and play this, because I think it's instructive to hear exactly what they have been saying. Listen.
I think the single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength.
My son is in a public school. He takes a class called African American History. If you're running an African American history class, could you perhaps be in violation of this court order, of this executive order?
I'm not quite certain, and I'd like to look into it further and get back to you on that.
You can have DEI in water coolers and universities. I disagree with that. But lives aren't impacted with DEI at universities. It is impacted here. I just want the best and the brightest, keeping Americans safe.
Okay, so you say that, and then you throw a Black History Month event, and people are supposed to then say, well, it all doesn't matter. He really does care about the history of this country, which includes people. It's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
Absolutely.
See, and this is the thing. These people on the left are so dishonest. They're very dishonest people. So what they're trying to say is that because Trump is getting rid of DEI out of the government and wherever else it is, he doesn't like actual diversity, black people, whatever, whatnot. When that's not really the case. When it comes to DEI, what he's getting rid of is because it's discrimination, right? You're discriminating against certain people. So that's my thing. It's like you either for discrimination or you're against it, right? You can't say I'm for discrimination or against it when it benefits me. And that's the thing with DEI, okay? It's discrimination. And that's what we all know. So he wants to get rid of it. So just because he's getting rid of DEI doesn't mean that he doesn't like black people or other people of color or women. That's not what it means. He wants to make sure he gets rid of DEI so therefore people that are qualified aren't discriminated against. And that's the purpose of it. And we all know that DEI is basically just discriminating. So that's what he's doing. So the fact that she's associating DEI with black people is just dishonest. And this is what a lot of people on the left, they're very dishonest people. They have to find some way to say Trump is a racist. So, okay, he's getting rid of DEI, so he must not like black people or he must not like diversity. This is very dishonest. And that's usually what you get from the left.
What are Americans supposed to think?
I mean, look, President Trump is not a traditional politician. I mean, he never has been. He never will be. So today when we saw the celebration in the White House, I thought that was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was a packed house there. I mean, Tiger Woods, I can go on and on of all the people that were there. He made it very clear today, Abby. He said, black Americans are legends. I'm going to put some statues up. Kobe Bryant.
But he's governing in exactly the opposite way.
I think what he's trying to do is on one end, he knows he's got a huge deficit. He's trying to make cuts and move the business, this big government forward.
I'm not talking about the cuts. I'm talking about the denigration of people based on this idea of DEI. They tried to blame a plane crash on diversity.
Yeah, I don't actually agree with that, to be very sincere with you. I think he looks at DEI more of a, let's put that aside and let's do everything on merit. He's made it very clear. He's talked about merit all along. So I really think, Abby, that what happened today was a beautiful thing.
So I don't. I think he's trying to gaslight us. I mean, come on, man. You have got to be kidding.
So he didn't have it. If he didn't have it today, you would be back.
He's trying to gaslight us. First, he said he doesn't want anybody in government to celebrate Black History Month, and then he says, "Okay, I'm going to put on an event about Black History Month, and I'm going to be the speaker." There aren't any black people, really saying anything about what's happening with him. He tried to use DEI as literally a racial slur against us, as if black people are benefiting from anything in this country and getting anything we're not qualified for and don't have to work twice as hard for. Black people have to live in the real world. When the cops come, we're scared because we might not come out of it alive.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I know exactly what to do when a cop approaches. Make sure you're very polite, comply, and you're good. Like I've never had any issue where I had my life threatened. Like these people are so, oh my God, this dude with the victim mentality. This dude is so annoying. It's just so annoying that they use it. And this is the thing. When people like this put this thought into in people's heads that, you know what, if you see a cop, just understand that your life is threatened. So therefore, it scares people and makes people overreact when they're speaking to a police officer, and then bad things tend to happen, right? When in reality, you should just be telling, hey, when a cop approaches, be polite, comply, and everything should be fine. All right, which most of the case that's usually the case. But people like this always want to use this. They want to throw these things out. Have this victim mentality. Oh, I gotta work. Black people gotta work 10 times as hard to make it in life. Yo, welcome to life, man. Everybody gotta work hard, right? You're not the only one. All right, stop with this victim mentality. This thing is it's a disease, man. It's a disease, and when I hear it from this person like that, it's like, yo, man, that's a sad thing, man. Like, bro, just stop talking like that. You don't need. You're on CNN. You're. I would think you're fairly successful. You're on a major national news network. You're doing something well as a black man, all right? But they always got to use this thing where, oh my God, you got to work twice as hard just to make it in life. Like, welcome to life, man. Everybody got to work hard, man. Some people's lives are harder than others, but people got to work hard. Get over it. That's just the way life is.
We walk into a store, if they let us in, we're followed around. We don't get loans when we have the same credit score as everybody else because we're black. We have to live in the real world. You can't gaslight us. We know reality when we see it. This is not real. This is a joke. That's what that is.
Look at, man, I've always got a loan, right? As long as I had make sure my credit was as long as my credit was good, and I had the money to back up whatever loan I was applying for. I never had an issue getting a loan. Like it's rare. I've never had that issue. So also walking in the store and people follow me. I've never had that issue, right? So I don't know where he's coming from. That I don't know where he's at when that's happened to him. But for me, that's not my experience. All right. But yeah, man, this is the mentality of a lot of these, these people on the left. They always have to have this victim, like they need this, they need the fact that there's racism, sexism, all these things, so they can use the excuse for why things aren't going the way. Maybe they're not happy in life, so they have to bring that up for whatever reason. It's their crutch in life, and it's a sad thing, and it's a very it's a mentality that I think God I don't have. Like it's such a weak mentality. All right, but yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Make sure you leave a comment down below, hit the like button, share, and if you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe. All right, so guys, take care. Have a good one. Later.